Hey,
Hi, Carmen.
hey, how are you guys doing?
All right. We are on TV. We're already broadcasting, okay?
Okay. I think someone on ESPN made the comment last week that they were just surprised how many built-in bookcases were in people's homes, because that seemed to be the most popular thing to have as a background.
I just think they want everybody to know that they can read.
And what did I do? I basically cleared out I realized after the first meeting I had that I had way too much crud stacked behind me. And like it was way too, so it all moved out in front of me to the other set of bookcases. But you guys can't see it. Dawn, how are you doing?
How is speech and hearing clinic holding up in all of this?
It's a whole different world, but I imagine I'm not the only one saying that. But we're doing fine. The speech pathologists are getting just pretty darn tired of teletherapy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I have to compliment Hedges. Mac Allison's wife's father needed some help. He was a veteran with a hearing aid and a new Apple phone, and they came out to Hedges, and they were thrilled with the excellent service. He is singing your praises.
wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, we'll be glad when the DAV can get back open again. And we're still actually, a lot of the hearing clientele have stayed home, given a lot of them are in the sensitive age group. But probably the most people who've come in have been some of the veterans who've needed their hearing aids, have had issues or something like that. So we've helped them out. And yeah, Max dad was like, I'm coming in. I'm not doing curbside because we are offering that now. So if you want to just stay in the parking lot, we'll come out and get it. But he came in and
Jim Freeman is a very special man.
yeah, yeah.
So you really won over an advocate for your clinic.
Well, good. We always like to hear that. So, yeah, and I'll put a plug in. We're also, if somebody that you know is having hearing aid problems that's one of our normal clients, then we're going to pick them up. If we need to, we can go pick it up at one of the retirement centers and pick it up that way. And then we'll take it back to the front door and deliver it to their people. So both of those options are open right now.
I'll tell Stephen Walking Stick about that at the Commons.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff out at the Commons. We talked to all three of the larger assisted living places, and so, but it's always good to remind somebody else again.
Good morning, Marty.
Good morning. Let me turn my video on. Okay, got it?
We got you.
All right, I'm going to prop myself up and I'll be right back. This might work. This morning, Brady?
Marty, you were muted for part of that. Can you say it again?
Is the whole staff at Autry now?
We have half of our staff outside of teachers that will be here today.
So Monday, Tuesday, half, and Thursday, Friday, half.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, perfect. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Are we ready to go? Are we recording? Can you hear me?
We are recording. We're broadcasting out already, so we should be ready to go.
Good. Well, good morning. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roll call, Leanne.
Leanne, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Kyle Homan.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi. Don Johnson.
Yeah.
Carmen Ball.
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard. Roxanne. She with us, guys?
Roxanne, there you go.
Yes.
Now say it.
Yes,
There she is.
Hi, Roxanne. Are you here?
I am.
All right, thank you. Marty Euler.
Present.
Excellent, thank you.
Agenda item number 2, flag salute.
And members, you do have an attachment for an American flag if you'd like to stay at your computer and use that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the republic for
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice
and justice
for all.
for all. Agenda item number 4 is the consent agenda. Vote to approve or disapprove the consent agenda. All of the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at a board meeting will be approved by one board vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. 4A, minutes of the April 6, 2020 special virtual and physical board meeting. 4B, activity fund report for April FY20. And 4C, treasurer's report for April FY20.
Move to approve the consent agenda in item 4.
Second.
Thank you, Dawn.
And second.
Roxanne, seconds.
Darn it, sorry. Don Johnson.
Yes.
Kyle Homan.
Yes.
Carmen Ball.
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard.
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes.
Madam
Agenda
President,
item, excuse me?
can we go back and catch item 3?
Sure, we can do that. Acknowledgement of BPA and HOSA state champions. Janet, I am so sorry.
That's okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
BPA was able to have their state conference right before spring break, just as normal. And so we had one state champion from there. Her name is Angelina Ponce, and that was in college accounting. Unfortunately, they canceled the national BPA conference, so she won't be able to go on and compete in that. But we did have a good running at the BPA state conference. We had the 1 first, 7 seconds, 3 thirds, 5 fourths, and 6/5. So we had quite a few in the top 5, as well as we had multiple ones that were 6th through 8th. So very proud of not only the students, but also the instructors for getting them prepared for that. The HOSA State Conference was held a little differently. They had some online testing as well as online session before their state conference that was supposed to be held the first week of April. So they just used that testing and submission as their state contest. And we had one first there, and that was Michaela Kreger. She is in Ms. Patoska's clinical medical assisting class, and she got first in job seeking skills, which had to deal with a cover letter and a resume. She will be able to compete at their conference, and that will be held virtually. So she will have to submit her cover letter and resume on a website, as well as then if she makes it to the final round, have to do a Zoom interview for that contest. Through those testing and submissions, then HOSA also had 1 second, 2/3, 2/4, and 1/5. So again, proud of those students and their instructors, and just wish that they had the opportunity to do some more hands-on competitions, because I think we would have done really well in some of those. So just thank you for allowing them to be able to compete and have that opportunity to put some more things in their portfolio and resume.
Thank you, Janet. Questions for Janet? We'll move on to agenda item number 5, encumbrances. Vote to approve or disapprove the following encumbrances. 5A, FY20 Building Fund Encumbrance List, numbers 55055 through 55058, $35,934.90. 5B, FY20 General Fund Encumbrance Change Order List, number 50262 for $1,398. 5C, FY20 General Fund Encumbrance Report List, numbers 52129 through 52199, $61,033.39. 5D, FY20 General Fund Encumbrance List, numbers 70144 through 70145 for $20,706.19. Diane?
Good morning, Madam President and the board.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are presenting our encumbrances to you for your review. I can tell you that with school being closed, we have not been encumbering nearly as many funds, but we miss the staff. I'm glad we're getting them back on campus. If I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have and request your approval.
Thank you, Diane. Any questions for Diane?
I'll move to approve the encumbrances in item 5.
Second?
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 6, Autry Financial Update. Mr. McCullough?
Madam President, board members, your attached graphs are the ones that you're very familiar with by now. Looking at both our general fund and building fund combined, we're approximately 1.7 million in revenue ahead of point in time last year. So from a fiscal standpoint, we are well ahead of where we plan to be at this point in time, and probably just in time for some of the upcoming reductions that are on the horizon for both the next fiscal year and probably the fiscal year after that. So we have done the best that we can at this point in time to prepare for those reductions, and we have been in contact with the State Department of Career Tech. 1.7 million that we're carrying over, we have applied for permission to do that, but we have been assured by the state director ahead of time that that will allow, as it is a management tool for the fiscal reductions that we can see in the future. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Brady? We'll move on then to agenda item number 7, vote to approve or disapprove an agreement with the Teacher Appraisal System, TAS, for the evaluation of teachers for the 2020-2021 school year. Jared?
Yes,
Good
ma'am,
morning.
Madam President. Good morning, Madam President and Board. The teacher appraisal system is the evaluation rubric that we've used for many years at Autry. And this would allow us to continue to use this evaluation mechanism for next year for all of our teachers and assistants. I'd be happy to answer any questions and ask for your approval.
I so move to approve. Roxanne?
Carmen, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Al Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 8, vote to approve or disapprove an agreement with OSSBA Employment Services for 2020-2021 school year. Diane?
Madam President, the Oklahoma State School Board Association provides a service to the public schools in Oklahoma that assists them with claims and data collection related to unemployment. So we have utilized their services for a number of years. It's very useful for us because they are much more current on all of the legal aspects of those unemployment claims. Be happy to answer any questions and would request your approval for that contract.
Is there a motion?
Move to
Don
approve.
Johnson here. Move to approve item 8.
Second.
Second.
Who's my second?
Oh, Kyle?
Thank you. Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 9, vote to approve or disapprove the OKACTE positional membership for 2020-2021. Diane?
Madam President, we have had these institutional positional memberships with the Oklahoma Association of Career and Technology Education and the national organization for 2 years. This will be the 3rd year that we would be able to provide those memberships. It allows for a significant number of professional development opportunities for our staff. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them and request your approval.
Do we have a motion?
Don Johnson, I move to approve item number 9 on the agenda.
Roxanne, second.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 10, vote to approve or disapprove the 2020-2021 statewide marketing agreement. Brady?
Madam President, Board, this is another item that you have approved in the past, one that I think is not only in the best interest of Autry Technology Center, but the technology centers and career tech as a whole across the state. Our portion of this membership is a little over $20,600. Technology centers pay into or pay the dues on this according to the tax base that they have in their local district, with the larger districts paying more. We fall kind of right in the middle, as we always do, from a financial standpoint. Understanding that we do have reductions ahead of us, I firmly believe that this is one area that we cannot afford as a system to reduce at this point in time. With what is approaching us from an unemployment standpoint, the enrollment possibilities and ability to help some of our fellow Oklahomans, I think this investment is very much necessary at this point. And it is staff recommendation that this be approved for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. Be happy to answer.
Don
Sarah.
Johnson.
Thank you, Don.
To approve item 10, the statewide marketing agreement.
Harmon, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
yes,
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 11, vote to approve or disapprove the 2020-2021 Technology Centers Cooperative Agreement with the Gooden Group. Brady?
Yes, ma'am. Much like the statewide marketing, this is also a co-op effort among the technology centers. The Gooden Group is a public relations group that we have worked with for many years. And again, due into this or membership into it, again, based on the ad valorem tax base of the individual technology centers. Our portion of that is $4,200. Again, we're pretty much in the middle. We have had full participation, or I believe really, really close to it, by all technology centers across the state in the past. So be my recommendation that we continue in this cooperative agreement. Be happy to answer questions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
yes,
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 12, vote to approve or disapprove Barbara Leathers' extra duty contract for the month of June 2020 to work with the new IT instructor. Janet?
Madam President and board members of the board, as you remember, Barbara submitted her retirement and you accepted that. We would like to add her on for the month of June. Hopefully we'll have a new IT instructor by then. And that way she will be able to work with that new instructor to get curriculum as well as new equipment set up.
Is there a motion to approve?
I so move. Roxanne,
Don Johnson, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
yes,
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 13, vote to approve or disapprove a new activity fund account number 0150001 CARES Act student grant, which will be used to receive and distribute funds awarded through the Federal CARES Act. Diane?
Madam President, this is part of the federal stimulus money related to the pandemic and is intended to help support schools and students during this challenging time. In order for us to receive and distribute those funds to students, we're going to run that through the activity fund with your approval. So we're asking for approval on this new activity fund account.
Move to approve.
Don Johnson, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
yes,
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 14, vote to approve or disapprove the implementation of the Autry Education Interruption Assistance Plan. Brady?
Madam President, it's safe to say that this 9 weeks hasn't gone exactly as we had planned at the beginning of the school year. We have been able to continue instruction for students in a virtual format. However, a lot of the hands-on training that Career Tech in the state of Oklahoma is known for, and Autry particularly for, we have not been able to deliver all of that training that we will be offering some additional opportunities in the future for those students. But this grant is to provide students the opportunity to continue until we're able to provide them the opportunity for certification and that type of thing that we promised at the beginning of our school year. The grant will be in an amount that is equal to tuition cost for the fourth 9 weeks for our students. The grant will go to the entity that sponsored, the entity or the individual that has sponsored the students' tuition. Technology Center. So, and the intent is for that to continue to be used for educational assistance for those students. I think Diane has in the process of developing a plan where those students will be receiving that grant, either picking them up here at home or they will be mailed directly to, again, the entity that sponsored that particular student. Uh, we think this is one of the things that we can do to best help our students in times like this. I will say that those students that are attending Autry on a 13th, 14th, or 15th year scholarship will not be eligible to receive this grant, as they did not have any actual tuition expense for their attendance at Autry. But those who did have the actual expense would be the ones that would be receiving it. I would be happy to answer any questions, and following that would request your approval of this item.
Questions for Brady? Is there a motion to approve?
Don Johnson, move to approve item 14.
Harmon, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Paul Homan,
Yes.
Karen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 15.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
if I could, I would suggest that because of really no need to go into executive session, that we skip to item 18, if that would be permissible.
Do we need to vote on that or just move on to it?
I think we can just move on to item 18 because
18? Okay,
executive
what we'll
session.
do. Vote to approve or disapprove Jeff Huffman for the position of Director of Full-Time Student Programs, Trade and Industrial, effective June 1, 2020. Brady?
Yes, Madam President and Board, Mr. Huffman is currently working at the State Department of Career Tech. He has been employed there since 2005 and is actually over Trade and Industrial Education Division for the State Department of Career Tech and the state. He has a teaching background in auto collision, but again, has been at the agency for the past 15 years. Jeff would come to our staff as highly recognizable and respected as an educational leader in the state of Oklahoma. He will be well known by our teachers. We have had Jeff participate in a couple of activities already, including some strategic planning, and he has been, it has been very beneficial already to have him on staff. So we will get Mr. Huffman after your approval on the screen, where you'll at least know who he is when you see him. But I think that he will make a wonderful addition to the staff at Autry. I would be happy to answer any questions concerning Mr. Huffman that you might have.
Is there question? Are there questions for Brady? If not, is there a motion?
Don,
Roxanne, I so move to approve.
Don Johnson, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Harmon Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 19, vote to approve or disapprove Jeff Huffman as a purchasing agent for the 2019-2020 school year. Diane?
Madam President, the board's approval of this agenda item will allow Mr. Huffman to review and approve purchasing requests from his staff. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Request your approval.
Questions for Diane? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Don Johnson, move to approve item 19.
Carmen, second.
Don Johnson,
Yes.
Kyle Homan,
Yes.
Carmen Ball,
Yes.
Roxanne Pollard,
Yes.
Marty Euler.
Yes. Agenda item number 20, Superintendent's Report. Mr. McCullough.
Thank you, Madam President. We'll tell you that we have taken possession of the 65 acres to the east and to the south of our current location of our main campus, which actually connects us with the property that we bought last year. So that's a done deal. Madam President, you mentioned it earlier in a question as to how many of our staff members we have on campus today. We are excited that half of our staff, excluding our full-time teachers, is now with us. This group will be the ones that work Monday, Tuesday. We will have the other half of the non-full-time teaching staff will be working Thursday, Friday. We'll continue that rotation through May 18th, so 2 weeks from today. Then if data allows and the state moves forward in their implementation plan of getting back to normal, we will move to phase 2 of our plan, which would actually bring all of our staff back at the same time. And we would also look at the beginning of business and industry training here on our campus as well as in the plant. Now, with both phase 1 and phase 2, we will be taking the temperature. Mr. Johnson had his temperature taken this morning when he came into the building, as did I and the rest of the staff that are on this Zoom meeting. But we will take temperatures. We will also require PPE for staff when they are outside of their office or if they have a guest in their office. And I will tell you that I am in my office. That's why I'm not wearing my PPE at the moment. Mr. Johnson is in the Capitol room and he's in there by himself. So that's why you'll see us not dressed up as the masquerader at the moment. We will also be practicing social distancing while on campus. So those areas such as coffee, ice, food, we've shut down those gathering areas. We will maintain social distance throughout the rest of the month, whether they're in phase 1 or phase 2 of our plan to come back to normal. Phase 3 would be scheduled to start June 1. And at that point in time, we would actually be opening our campus back up to the public. In order to move to phase 3, again, that will be a data-driven decision that will be made at that time, and we will follow what is happening with the state or with the local municipality should the mayor or the city itself get involved. But we do have a plan in place. We are also looking to the future into the fall. I have this little thing in the back of my mind that scares me a little bit that we have to provide PPE for students in the future. Should we get into that situation with disposable PPE, then we would be looking at need for about 1,000 units a day. So we are going to try to stockpile some PPE. We have at current time 14,000 pairs of gloves that are on order, and we're at about 5,500 face masks that we will have in within the next 10 days, with about half of that being reusable. We plan to use the reusable for our full-time students, and of course, we'll use the disposable with our industry training, and use the reusable with our full-time staff as well. We also, and I think I mentioned this at our last board meeting, do have 5 fogging machines on order that can be loaded with disinfectant, and we can quickly disinfect areas across the school should we have multiple scheduling of that particular room throughout the day. So we're planning ahead for that. Would also tell you that we have been notified that Cheryl Cooksey, our graphic arts teacher, has been awarded by the Trade and Industry Division of the Oklahoma Career Tech System the Marcia Daves Lifetime Achievement Award. So Cheryl is an early of that, and that is certainly well deserved. So we will make sure that she receives proper congratulations. And if you happen to see her, then I know that she would appreciate your mentioning that if you remember to do that. We have participated, the management team that is, has participated in a strategy session, a planning session looking at the next 18 months. We have set some priority goals for Autry. One of those will be centered around virtual learning and increasing our capability in not only our full-time programs, but our business and industry training as well. How can we expand that to allow students to move through curriculum faster than what they can now, to work more on their own and then demonstrate the hands-on skills component of our programs, no matter what division those programs might be coming out of. Another goal out of that is to develop individual learning plans for adult students that we have on campus. You've heard much about the ICAP plans for our high school students. We think that we can work with our adult students that are in campus in much the same fashion so that we can develop a longer term learning plan for those adult students. If they complete one certification in industrial maintenance, then here's the next one, the next one, the next one. And we're fortunate that with our student data system now, we also have the ability to automate notification to those students when those learning opportunities might be coming up. So we will be devoting some staff effort to that, as well as doing some inventory of skill sets that we have on campus as well. Looking at our current staff, trying to inventory the skill sets that we have to get people into positions that we feel are of high priority at that particular time, and concentrate our efforts in specific areas that will move us forward as quickly as we possibly can. The last area that I would touch on is a construction update. The east end of the building looks like it's about to swallow the rest of the building now. It keeps getting bigger. It's going up faster and faster. All of the floors are poured. All the external walls are up. The safe area inside, all of the walls there have been poured as well. On the culinary side, the electricians, the plumbers are in there working now. All of the walls have been removed. That's one great big room right now. And as you walk in, culinary doesn't look like culinary used to. So we're excited about the speed at which those projects have been moving. I think once we get the roof on the east end, we will we'll have that up before the winter weather gets to us. So that should cut down on the number of delays that might be possible. And of course, culinary will be, for the most part, completely inside, and we should be able to have constant effort on that area. So we're moving right along. If you haven't been by and you'd like to see that area, come on by. We're going to have you come to the front desk because we're limiting access to the campus. The only place that you can get in, we'll take your temperature, grab you a hard hat and a mask, and we'll let you see what's going on at the construction sites if you'd like to come by. Madam President, that's all I have at this point in time, unless there's questions.
Any questions for Brady? Well, Brady, I want to thank you again this month, as I did last month, for your leadership during these uncertain times. We're charting new territory, it seems like every day, and we certainly appreciate your leadership. The constant assurance that we're doing the right things at Autry and taking care of the employees and the students in our community is very important to us. So thank you for that leadership. We'll move on to
Very good.
We'll move on to agenda item number 21, new business. In accordance with Oklahoma statute title 25-311A9, this is limited to any matter not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the posting of this agenda. Is there any new business?
Madam President, we have no new business.
Okay. Agenda item number 22, reports by members of Board of Education.
Don Johnson, I have one thing to build on what Marty said. I appreciate the online safety programs that Autry has for employees in the community. It shows the coronavirus can't stop Autry from helping people work safely. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Anyone else?
I did one class last week and I'm scheduled to do another one on the online. So taking advantage myself of some classes.
Wonderful. Agenda item number 23, the next special virtual and physical maybe Board of Education meeting is scheduled to be held Monday, June 1, 2020 at Autry Technology Center, Autry Boardroom, 1201 West Swallow, Enid, Oklahoma, 73703, 8 a.m. I love seeing your faces on Zoom, but I would really love seeing your faces in person. So possibly we'll be together June 1. Look forward to that. If there's no further business, we will adjourn the meeting. Go out and have a great day. And we'll look forward to seeing you one way or another on June 1.
Thank you.
Marty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.